And good Tuesday morning. Welcome to episode 48 of the Inside Drive podcast. Got another exciting local athlete, state champion, in studio with us, as well as her coach, Aaron Paille. Also got McKenzie Hatcher. She's an 11th grader from North Bay Haven, a two-time 1A state champion in weightlifting. We'll dive into some interview questions here in just a moment. But first, got to mention the official juice of the Inside Drive podcast. That is Juice and Sunsets. Most people aren't getting the vitamins and nutrients their bodies truly need from everyday foods alone. Busy schedules, processed meals, and depleted soil make it harder than ever to fuel our bodies properly. When your body is undernourished, it can't perform at its best. Energy drops, immunity weakens, and inflammation creeps in. Fresh, nutrient-dense juices are a simple, powerful way to bridge that gap. They deliver essential vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants in a form your body can easily absorb, helping you feel better, think clearer, and make healthier choices one sip at a time. You can visit Juice and Sunsets on Facebook to learn more, or head over to juiceandsunsets.com to place your order. You can pick up or have it delivered. And then, of course, my buddy Alan Watson over there at Golf Plus. If you're looking to elevate your golf game with custom-fitted clubs and pro-level gear, step into Golf Plus, a golf retail and fitting destination with roots stretching all the way back to its founding in 1988 in Dothan, Alabama. At Golf Plus, the focus is simple. You get fitted right. They use industry-leading technology like the Foresight Game Changer 2 launch monitor in not one but two simulators and advanced shaft matching systems to dial in your perfect club for your swing, whether it's a full new set or just a retrofit of your current clubs. But Golf Plus is more than just clubs. It's also a full-service shop. From expert grip work, loft and lie adjustments, to quality repairs and a curated selection of top brands, you'll find everything you need to play your best. And now, with its renovated shop in Panama City Beach, golfers visiting the Gulf Coast and locals alike can enjoy a premium fitting experience and apparel selection right next to the sandy beaches. Whether you're a beginner or seasoned player, Golf Plus delivers personalized service, cutting-edge technology, and gear you can trust. Book your custom fitting or stop by today, because the right equipment can make all the difference out on the course. Located in the shops at Edgewater next to Firefly. You can give them a call at 850-249-2726, and you can visit them online at golfplusretail.com. And of course, American Charlie's, they are our sponsor for our Athlete of the Week, and we have our Athlete of the Week winner in studio with us today. She wins a $50 gift card to the awesome American Charlie's restaurant. It's your favorite American restaurant with all this Team USA stuff going on. They're conveniently located also in the shops of Edgewater, next to Rocket Lanes and Firefly. They have great daily specials, private rooms available for parties, tons of TVs for all your sporting events, military and first responder discounts daily. They serve all your American favorites: fried chicken, pot roast specials, wings, burgers, shrimp, and all those American classic dishes. They're now on DoorDash, just in case you can't make it in. They have daily happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m., as well as their newly introduced Early Eagle menu with $14 entrees that come with two sides. Can't beat that price, can't beat that time. And again, we appreciate them being our American Charlie's Athlete of the Week sponsor. Now we're going to be joined by our guests here. McKenzie, Aaron, how are y'all doing today?
I'm doing good.
There you go. I appreciate y'all coming in. And obviously, a lot of congratulations are in order for you. McKenzie, when did you get started in weightlifting?
I started the summer before 7th grade, so I was 12 years old.
Gotcha. And of course, what got you into weightlifting?
So I actually started by playing JV football in middle school. I had a coach that came to me and said I would do good on the team, so I had to do weightlifting if I wanted to play football.
Awesome. And then from there on, you just loved it and kept doing it. Obviously, you're a two-time state champion from this particular state championship. What were the two events that you won?
I've won Olympic, which is snatch and clean and jerk, and traditional, which is clean and jerk and bench.
Gotcha. So they put the bench with the clean and jerk on that one. I did not know that, so that's cool. Coach, what got you started in being the girls' weightlifting coach?
I was actually an assistant coach to another guy for football, and this was before Hurricane Michael, and I hadn't even coached the female side to it. It was mainly assisting boys team, and after Hurricane Michael, our girls coach left, and they needed a coach, and the kids asked me, and I stepped up, and it's kind of a fun adventure since. So
there you go, a journey, some might say.
Yes.
What's the biggest difference between coaching the boys and coaching the girls?
Sometimes it's just a little bit of difference in their tenacities, but realistically, if it's ever by programming, usually girls could do a lot more volume than boys do. And then the other side of it is usually with boys, it's kind of like we can make bigger jumps and attack things a little bit differently versus with the girls, like that 5 pounds extra on another lift means a lot more. in some situations.
Gotcha. Very cool. McKenzie, what was it like when you completed the state championship winning lift? Can you describe that moment?
I don't really know how to describe it. I mean, I was kind of out of it at the moment.
Kind of locked in?
Due to injury. I
Oh.
was just not having the greatest day.
Gotcha. But obviously you went on to win 2 of them. So obviously you overcame that challenging day. Coach, what about you? What was that moment like when you saw her, win those 2 state championships?
So on the Olympic side, it was really awesome to see how well she responded. She was having some injuries and stuff kind of pop up towards the end. We really wanted to show what we could do, and unfortunately, just that day, it just wasn't there. So to see her tenacity to be able to go out and do what she did is a really special moment. To know that even though she knew she was going to win the Olympic side by a lot, we still had our own little battle that we were working with. So I was really proud of her for that side. There was a matter of fact, I know she'll probably love this. She missed her opener on the start of it. However, with all of the times that I've seen her go through her development, she was able to handle that with so much more grace than the McKenzie that I remember coaching at the very beginning. So I was super proud of her on that side of it. And then traditionally, she normally doesn't have like more of the competitive side to bench, but her clean and jerk is so high. I mean, she clean and jerks 230 plus pounds. Jeez. So she's an absolute unit on that side of it. So the bench side, we had one girl that was very close, and she put the girl in a position where that athlete had to bench almost 195 pounds in order to beat her.
Wow.
So
is it a combination of the 2 weights in that competition?
Mm-hmm.
So the one you built, I know you said something about she had an 80 pound lead.
Yeah, the Olympic side, she had about an 85 pound lead on that side, and that wasn't even with her best lifts all time. Like if we were gonna go out swinging what we were really wanting to go swing, this would probably been about 150, 120 pound difference. But for the traditional side, she did a fantastic job of actually hit a 5 pound PR on bench. As well, but we had to sit and wait and watch the other lady who she was doing a great job. She was having a hard day too as well, but she did a great job and was competing. And after we won, we shook hands as coaches and athletes. And at the end, we're just always congratulating the athlete for doing their job at the end of the day. We're never wishing for somebody to miss a weight,
Absolutely.
But we're always congratulating at the end. So
well, that's kind of sports in general. Most team sports too, if you just do your job, that's how you can be successful. McKenzie, what did you have to tell yourself when you were obviously going through a little bit of a challenge there in that state championship with the injuries popping up and stuff like that? How did you mentally handle that, and how did you persevere to go on and win?
Just honestly that I've been through harder. Just an injury wasn't going to stop me, no matter how bad it hurt.
Absolutely. That perseverance, and you kind of channeled some of your previous experiences. Good stuff there. I know you mentioned you played football. Do you play any other sports? And if you do, how do they help you with weightlifting and vice versa?
I've done almost every sport there is except, volleyball. I've played every sport except for volleyball.
And how do those sports help you in weightlifting?
I never stuck with any of them for super long, so I think weightlifting has always just been my thing.
Gotcha. And when did you realize how good you were at weightlifting?
In 8th grade, probably, I was the first ever 8th grader to medal at my high school.
Wow, that's impressive. So then you kind of went on from there.
Mm-hmm.
How many was this your first appearance at a state championship? And I apologize if it's not.
This was my 5th.
Nice. So had the other experiences down at the state championship helped you in this particular state?
Yeah, it definitely helped because the crowds of people, there's a lot of people, it's loud, and you just lights are bright. You have to be prepared for things like that because it's very overwhelming.
I bet. So with that being said, what does a typical week of training look like for you?
I usually work out 4 to 5 times a week for about an hour to 2 hours every week.
And is there recovery? I mean, obviously you're doing it daily. So what does your recovery routine look like?
On usually midday through the week, I'll do like a recovery day, which is like stretches and just things like that.
Gotcha. And these are just some questions that I'm curious about as well. I love to learn the inner workings of how all these sports go. What was the hardest part of your journey to the 2 state championships that you won? In your whole weightlifting journey, not just the journey to that state championship.
I had an issue with body weight for a really long time. I was cutting weight when I didn't need to, and it was making me a lot weaker than I should have been.
Gotcha. And what do you got to do you just got to, work out and eat and all that to get your weight back up?
Yeah, I've had to do that a lot recently. I've gained almost 10 pounds since last year, since the last state meet, which has helped me a lot.
Gotcha. That help you give you more strength and that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
What is the hardest lift mentally that you've had to do, and what is the hardest lift physically that you've done so far?
Snatch for both, honestly. It's one mistake and you can lose it all.
Gotcha. A lot of pressure there, that's for sure. Speaking of pressure in big meets, how do you handle that big pressure, like in the state finals?
Just think it's just you and the bar.
Yep.
That's the only thing you can do.
Awesome. This kind of rolls back to what you guys said earlier. Have you ever failed on a big lift? And if so, what did you learn from it? Because a lot of times in other sports, like I relate this to golf all the time. Before you can learn how to win a golf tournament, you've got to lose a golf tournament because I feel like it makes you want it more. So is that kind of similar if you failed on a big lift before?
Yes. I have tried a state record twice now, and I have missed it both times.
And then that kind of helps you prepare for, when you're not going for that state record.
Mm-hmm.
What is the current personal record that you are most proud of? I think you said you had one down there at state.
Probably I like my snatch a lot. I can snatch 190 pounds.
Wow. In what you do, how important is technique versus raw strength?
I think they're both equally as important because with good technique, it's a lot easier to lift, but strength is also a very important factor to it.
Gotcha. And how much time do you dedicate on strength versus technique? Or is it, like you said, kind of 50-50?
I would say 50-50. I have worked a lot more on technique now recently because I've been having issues with it, but just depends on the person.
Well, and that's true. Again, getting back to all sports, usually it always falls back to fundamentals. If you just do your job and follow fundamentals, the rest kind of takes care of itself. Who has helped you the most along the way, and how important is a good support system for you?
Definitely Aaron. He has helped me a lot, technique-wise, strength-wise. He's always there when I need him, even if it's not in weightlifting.
Gotcha. Coach, how often does an athlete like McKenzie come through your program?
Right now, she's our first as far as what she's done in our program. When I say that, that's a little bit outside of the high school side of it. For the high school side, we've had several state champions. We've had a lot of back-to-back state champions, but we've never had an athlete that has been able to take a state record or at least attempt that. So it was always fun to say, like, as athletes, we like to talk a lot about, and even myself still as an athlete, we like to talk about PRs a lot. But as a coach, there are PRs in that as well, too. There's PRs for that athlete, for you as a coach to look at. It goes like, man, we've never, now we're here. And then how do we either A, replicate and or B, get better from that position, right? There should be always a process of looking at how to get better. So I think amongst the halls of North Bay Haven, when it comes to state champions, she's definitely ranked up there very, very high, in my opinion.
Awesome. Sounds like you should be in the North Bay Haven Athletic Hall of Fame, if that is something that exists. Coach, how much do you have to help push and motivate McKenzie, or does she kind of have that drive and discipline to do it on her own?
I think a lot when we were starting off, there was a lot of needing to help in which direction to push. I think she knew she knew to push. I don't think there's ever been a question, kiddo, with when you want to push, but I think it's more directional for her. And the big thing that I love about that is that I don't have to just get onto her to do things. She already knows. It's like, hey, we have to do this, and this is something we got to get done. And yeah, there are days where it's like nail biting to get certain things done, but she does. She knows that internally, it's like, I do have to do this.
Well, and kind of every elite athlete that has serious success has that discipline and drive that, isn't, as common as probably some people think it is, because being disciplined and doing the work when no one's looking is, how you're successful. And it sounds like that's a big part of your routine there, McKenzie. All right, moving on to you guys. Coach, you're also a Team USA coach, and McKenzie, you're a Team USA athlete. That sounds like it's taken you guys kind of around the world. Talk about some of those experiences you've had being with Team USA.
We've been to Ecuador, Peru, and Mexico all within the last 2 years.
And are those competitions down there in those other countries? Mm-hmm. How successful have you been in those competitions?
I've done pretty good in the last couple. In Peru, I was number 9 in the world. And then
Wow.
when we were in Mexico, I got 3rd.
Sweet. That's awesome. Hence being on Team USA.
And also being up a weight class in that one too, because you competed.
I did.
Yeah, did a good job with that.
How much harder is it when you go up a weight class?
It's definitely a struggle, especially being at the lighter end, because those girls do have a body weight advantage on you.
Which gives you more leverage and strength.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what is your weight class now? I know it's 169, but what does that go to?
So it's from
I apologize for the ignorance on the weight
You're
classes.
154.1 to 169, and then in kilos, I'm a 77 kilo lifter.
Gotcha. So you slid into that next one, which probably went 10, 20 pounds up from where you were?
Yeah.
That's got to be hard. How much has being with Team USA helped you in your weightlifting career?
It's definitely given me a lot more eyes on my lifting. There's definitely a lot more coaching to be there. Just more people to give feedback.
Aaron, when did you join Team USA coaching for weightlifting?
Well, the fun part to that is once an athlete makes it, the coach that's their athlete gets to become that Team USA coach, which is really cool. She made her first bout to that in Pittsburgh, and it was a moment where I think we both had a really fun moment to sit there. It was like we're here. We did this. She had to hit a qualifying total to be able to be a part of Team USA. But I have, just like she's thanked me quite a bit, I have a lot to thank her for as well, because positionally as a coach, I'm able to talk with other high-level coaches. I mean, I'm able to call and talk, and not just about her technique, but just about coaching in general.
In general, yep.
Yeah, so.
Kind of a cool symbiotic relationship that you guys have when it comes to weightlifting.
Mm-hmm.
You benefit him, he benefits you. I don't know if it can be any better than that. McKenzie, what's next for you in weightlifting? What are your goals? Obviously, you're in 11th grade, so you've got one more year as a senior. What does the future look like for you?
In 2 weeks, I plan on going to the Arnold to try to requalify for a junior team for Team USA. And then next year for high school, I plan on breaking records.
Sweet. And then, of course, the cliche question, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Any Olympic aspirations?
That's the goal, always.
I love it. It's kind of out there and you're just working towards it all the time. And I'm sure you're a role model for a lot of young girls, especially wanting to get into weightlifting in different sports, whatever it may be. What's some of the advice you would give them if you could tell them today?
Just always keep pushing and don't cut weight when you don't need to.
There you go. Is it hard keeping weight up, especially when you're working out all the time?
Not when you fuel your body like you should. I would definitely say to eat like you're supposed to. Don't skip meals. Drink plenty of water. Just fuel your body. If you're hungry, eat.
Yep. Heavy protein, right? Absolutely. So obviously, same thing. How important is that diet for your success? Just what you're putting in your body every day. Do you work with somebody that's like a nutritionist, or you just kind of do it all on your own?
My mom does a lot of my meals for me.
Awesome.
So she meal plans most of the week for me. Lunch, dinner, breakfast, that sort of thing.
So a big part of your support system, obviously, is that as well, too, with your mom helping out with your diet and all that good stuff, which, again, with every sport, your diet is so darn important, especially what we know now about our food here in the great United States of America. Coach, anything else you'd like to add, on y'all's journey through this weightlifting process? And where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
Okay. I don't really have too much to add on that. I just know that I'm really proud of her. I'm really proud of, if I haven't said it too as well, I'm proud of every kiddo that's ever come into our program. I don't believe I'm the coach that I am right now without having each influence that I've had from each of the students. But in 5+ years, who knows? I mean, it would be cool to say that
2028 Olympics is right here in the States.
Sounds. I will say I am going to be taking a ride to that 2028, no matter what, one way or the other. I'm definitely going. But
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That should be certainly a lot of fun. Speaking of the Olympics, did you guys watch a bunch of the Winter Olympics? It was always on early, unless you wanted to catch it in
Watch the tad.
Curling was great.
It is fun. Certainly, every 4 years we seem to bring curling back into the forefront of what we do here for the Olympics. But I want to talk about USA Hockey just for a couple minutes. And we led up to the Olympics with one of my good friends who is the lead ice technician for the Washington Capitals. And he said very importantly that Hellebuyck was going to be the guy going forward, and he certainly, in my opinion anyway, kept that team where they needed to be. And without Hellebuyck's great performance in that gold medal game, I don't think Jack Hughes would have had the opportunity to score that overtime goal and win the gold medal for the United States of America. Did you see he got his tooth knocked out right before he scored that goal too? A couple periods earlier. That's the difference between hockey players and other sports. I mean, obviously you were fighting through some injuries too in your state championship. So apparently sacrifice is also part of what you got to do. But to get your tooth knocked out, see it on the ice, go back to the bench, get back in there, and score a goal a little bit later on in the game to win the gold medal for the United States of America for the first time in 46 years. Obviously, 46 years ago was the Miracle on Ice team, back when they defeated the USSR team when nobody gave them a shot, and they ended up beating them in the semifinal and then went on to beat Sweden in the gold medal game. A lot of people don't realize that game against the USSR was not the gold medal game. Still a Miracle on Ice as well. Another thing I thought was really, really cool is that, I don't know if you guys knew that Johnny Gaudreau had passed away, him and his brother, in a car accident couple years ago in the off season, and they brought his number 13 jersey out there on the ice, and then ended up getting his children out there on the ice with them too, just to really call inner story there of everything going on. Obviously, the women won the gold medal too as well, a little more handily. I believe that one was 3-1. It's the first time ever that both teams, men's and women's, had won the gold medal in the same Olympics. And the women's Olympic game was the most ever watched hockey game for women on record. And this was obviously following the return of the 2020 Olympics. They were all NHL players back on the United States roster. Same with Canada, I believe, same with Sweden and some of those other European teams as well. So obviously it used to be primarily an amateur sport, but amateurs in the Olympics. So now with the professionals, I don't know if USA, Canada, and hockey can top any. I think more people were probably interested in that than the Super Bowl. That's probably not true, but it was nice to see the USA pride and all that stuff again, and good for both men's and women's Olympics teams for kind of bringing that back. Pretty cool stuff there from the hockey team. Obviously, we had a bunch of other gold medal winners as well. The United States finished second in the gold medal and total medal count behind Norway. Not uncharacteristic to see Norway lead in the Winter Olympics, as they are primarily a big-time winter sport country. The Dutch also had 10 gold medals. A lot of those were probably in speed skating. The whole host country, Italy, had 10 gold medals as well, 30 total. The United States had 33 total medals. 41 was Norway's total medals. It kind of coincides perfectly with the gold medal stuff as well. But Olympics were certainly a cool thing. I know couple years from now, we got the Summer Olympics coming up, 2028, which we just mentioned, and there'll be some new sports in those 2028 Olympics, like I know girls flag football will be a part of that. Any interest to play girls flag football?
No. I'm not much of a runner nowadays.
Yeah. Don't have to do too much running for weightlifting?
Not too much.
No, just running back and forth between the platforms, that's about it.
I'll ask you one more question, McKenzie. Somebody who's kind of ignorant to the sport like me, what are some of the things that people may not realize about what happens and what goes on with weightlifting?
Oh.
No, that's kind of a tough question.
I can think of a few.
Go ahead,
Coach. So first off, I think a lot of times when people are watching the sport, they just see just somebody putting weight on the platform and lifting it. An old coach once told me that the battle is actually not happening out front; it's happening in the back room. Yep. Right? That everything, like as you're warming up, and you sit there, and how meaningful that statement really is. Because I know plenty of times looking at state and watching people's competitions and trying to figure out where we're going to open at. There's actually a battle going on even before they set foot on the platform. The other thing, which this might be not big known, but when you are at a competition, the best thing you can do is sit down and not walk across someone's vision. I know that sounds like more of a complaint, but but there are times where I've watched lifters, just about to lift, and all of a sudden someone goes, "Oh, I've got to get up and I got to start walking." I'm like give 5 more seconds. 5 more seconds, it would have been fine. So like things to know of, that and why people miss lifts. Yeah. Right. We have what's called the press out rule that seems to be used a lot. Usually when people press out, it means they punch and then their elbows bend again and then they settle back down. So that would be a no lift. So that sometimes gets people confused, going like they see a lift go overhead and they go, why is that? why is that not a good lift? And then
So you have to lock your arms
and keep them locked.
for
And,
how long?
until the judge tells you to come
Gotcha.
down. So with the jerk, the feet are normally split for most athletes. They have to recover their feet back together. For the snatch, all they have to do is just stand up completely and wait. And as soon
Gotcha.
as the judge says down, it's a good lift. If it wasn't pressed out.
Gotcha. So if I'm like this, that's not a good lift.
It is not a good lift. A lot of athletes, which during local meets this happens a lot, which is really funny. They'll hold weight like that, and they'll get a judge that doesn't know that, and it's like, no, that's still a no lift. You actually have to lock the elbows completely out. Even if you're double jointed, the elbows will lock out. They'll just lock out in a different position.
Yeah. Gotcha. Gotcha. And how important is footwork when it's you're doing this, Austin? Because I know, like, quarterbacking, my son plays quarterback. Footwork is huge. Golf footwork is huge. People may not realize that. Pretty much every sport, footwork is huge. How important? And did it take you a while to figure out the correct footwork for doing this?
It definitely did. Footwork is a big deal just for balance, because it's not just your body, it's you and hundreds of more pounds.
Additional weight, yeah. Good stuff. So footwork did take you a little while to figure out.
It did.
Gotcha. Everett, we'll take a quick break. Before we take a quick break, I'm going to read my Panhandle Credit Union commercial. We appreciate Panhandle Credit Union being a sponsor here of the Inside Drive. At Panhandle Credit Union, quality relationships is what they are all about. Whether it is donating to a community event, sponsoring your child's sports team, they are here in our community to help us out. Check out their great banking products, loans, savings, and checking accounts, as well as mortgages. Whatever your financial needs are, Panhandle Credit Union can handle it. Visit any branch location or head to panhandlecu.org. You're listening to episode 48 of the Inside Drive. We'll be right back with McKenzie and Coach Aaron. Back to episode 48 of the Inside Drive podcast, hanging out in studio with Coach Aaron Paille and then, of course, two-time state champion McKenzie. McKenzie, we were talking off air there real quick. There's some internal competitions between other people in the weightlifting world. Talk about some of those relationships and how they may push you, and then how you may cheer for other people in your same sport.
So it's me and my friend, her name is Elle Bays, and I wouldn't say there's much competition between us. She does beat me quite often, but we have a really good friendship. It's not like mean competition where we hate each other's guts.
Healthy competition that pushes both of you. Like that kind of stuff. Now, did you go up against her in the state finals?
I did not. She's in a different division as me, so we've actually never competed each other in high school.
But outside in different competitions, you've competed against each other. And you were also talking about you did have a state record, personal record for a few moments at the state championship. Talk about that just for a second. So
I was it 86
Yeah,
kilos?
it was 86.
86 kilos, which is about 190 pounds. I had that record for about an hour and a half, and then Elle broke it.
Gotcha. Still cool, though. You had it for just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Any other state records that you've had for just a moment, or have currently in your
Technically
stats?
the total.
Technically the total record. I had that for a little bit, and then Elle broke it later on.
Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And is she someone that you go up against fairly regularly?
Every now and then, mostly international meets, we'll go against each other.
Gotcha. Do they do the state records by weight, or they do it by classification and weight?
So for like USAW, they do age and weight, and then high school they do like the whole state is one. It's just like your weight class.
Gotcha. I'm going to ask these questions because I'm really actually curious. I want to talk real quick before we get out of here. We got about 15 minutes left. I want to talk about the updated top 25 men's college basketball rankings, as well as the men's baseball rankings, because my Coastal Carolina Chanticleer is my alma mater. That's kind of what I got to hang my hat on nowadays with college sports is Coastal Carolina baseball. Right now in basketball, some very familiar faces up at the top. Duke at 1, Arizona 2, Michigan, who's been the powerhouse most of the year, now down to 3. Iowa State jumped up from, I believe, 6, maybe 8 last week, all the way up to 4. They're now ahead of Houston at 5, UConn at 6, Florida, that sneaky team that finds a way to always, compete for national championships, at number 7, Purdue at 8, Gonzaga 9, and then the Illini at number 10. We've got futures on the Illini to win the national championship. I'm kind of a closet Illinois fan right now because of that particular bet. And then on the baseball side, the D1 America baseball poll, the UCLA Bruins lead the top at 6-1. And then the LSU Tigers 8-0, Texas 7-0, Mississippi State 8-0, Georgia Tech 8-0, Arkansas 6-1, Auburn 6-1, North Carolina 6-1-1. I guess you can tie in baseball in this day and age. And then number 9, my Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. They have 2 losses though, but a lot of SEC teams in that top 10. You got 5 SEC teams in that top 10, which is not surprising because SEC baseball over the last several years has really, really increased their ability. Do want to talk about Ponce de Leon's boys basketball team. They are competing tonight in the Rural State semifinals with a trip to the championship on the line. The other state semifinal is Williston and Trenton. Don't ask me where they are because I do not know. But Ponce de Leon is going to be going up against Crossroad Academy, who is the team that beat Port St. Joe in the quarterfinal or the region finals. So Ponce de Leon is the rural region, I believe, Region 1 champion with an opportunity to go up against a really, really good Crossroad team coming up this afternoon, actually, at 2 p.m. If they go on to win, state championship will be on the 27th. Which I believe that is Friday of this week coming up. I know that because I'm going to be calling the Mosley and Arnold girls flag football game over there at Gavlock Stadium this Friday. I'm looking forward to that for sure. And then got to talk about some of the other local games here in the market tonight, as I always do. Want to support those local athletes, those local sports. Of course, as I always say, get out there and support these young men and women. As I know, growing up, when the stands were full, it was always a lot more fun. On the softball side of things, Bay will be taking on Lighthouse Christian Academy. They're 1-1. Bay so far is 0-1. And then Arnold will be traveling to Holmes County. They're 1-0 to take on 1-1 Holmes County. Girls flag football, Bay and Rutherford go underway tonight over there at Tommy Aller Stadium. Both teams looking for their first win of the season. Bozeman 3-0 in softball will be traveling over to the Walton Braves, who are looking to find their first win of the season. And then in baseball, 3-1 Mosley will be taking on 0-5 Rutherford. Softball as well, you've got Mosley and Sneeds both without a win yet. Obviously, one of those teams will have a win coming out of this evening's game at 6 p.m. And then a big baseball game, cross-county rivals. You got Bay, who's 4-1, traveling to the baseball stadium over there on the Gavlock Sports Complex to take on Arnold, who is currently 3-2. Speaking of Arnold, I do want to give a shout-out to Cooper Moss, Steve Moss's son, who's at the University of Florida. He gets his first start tonight for the Florida Gators as a young freshman. I believe that game will be on ESPN Plus for anybody who wants to check that out. And then last but not least, you got Bozeman, who is 5-1. Holmes County is 2-2. Will be traveling to Bozeman. McKenzie, any sports you'd like to get out and watch, obviously, besides doing your weightlifting stuff?
I'm not really sure. I don't really watch a whole lot of spring sports.
Gotcha. Fall sports? Winter sports?
Not really. I just do weightlifting.
Gotcha.
That's kind of it.
Stay in your bubble?
Yeah.
I understand. Well, I appreciate y'all coming on the show so very much. One more sponsor before we get out of here, and that's my favorite restaurant, Firefly, right there also in the Edgewater Shopping Plaza. I feel like there's a theme with all my sponsors here on the Inside Drive. If you're looking for an unforgettable dining experience on Florida's Gulf Coast, there's only one place to go. That is Firefly, right in Panama City Beach, where casual elegance meets world-class cuisine. Whether you're celebrating a special night out or just want phenomenal food with a seaside vibe, Firefly delivers that exactly. From award-winning fresh Gulf seafood and perfectly seared steaks to a world-class sushi bar, signature cocktails, every dish is crafted with passion and flair. Step inside and you'll find an atmosphere that's warm, welcoming, and refined, ideal for date nights, celebrations, or simply savoring an evening with friends. With an ever-evolving menu and dedicated service staff, Firefly is more than dinner, it's an experience. Make your reservation today and taste why Firefly is one of the top dining destinations in Panama City Beach, if not the entire Gulf Coast. Visit their menu online, enjoy fresh coastal favorites, and become part of the tradition. Firefly, located in the shops of Edgewater. Book now online at fireflypcb.com and just dine with distinction. One more question, McKenzie, before we get out of here. What's up next for you on your weightlifting agenda?
I plan on lifting at the Arnold to try
That's right, yeah. That's the junior USA team.
Yes.
Now, what would you have to do to qualify that, or is that based on what everybody else's scores are too, or is there a certain number you have to hit?
There's a certain number. I would need a 12-kilo total PR, so I'd need to PR 6 kilos in my snatch and 6 kilos in my clean and jerk.
Gotcha. Well, I wish you the best of luck, obviously, in that and then the rest of your weightlifting career. Coach, I appreciate you reaching out and getting McKenzie on the show with us today. Very, very much appreciate it. As I always do, got to give a shout out to the 2 University Academy sports because that's where my kids go. The U8 girls soccer team, we traveled to Mowat this afternoon, our 3rd straight away game, trying to make it 8-0 on the season. And then boys basketball, who is 6-1 on the season, is traveling up to Bozeman. So good luck to the girls and boys basketball teams there from University Academy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, comment, YouTube. Also follow all of our major podcast sites, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Audible, whatever it may be. The Inside Drive is on there. Again, I appreciate y'all coming in so very much. I'm sure we'll talk soon. And McKenzie, good luck with the rest of your weightlifting career. Thank you for listening to the Inside Drive, episode 48. We'll be back on Thursday with Jay Henley and David Hayes. Y'all have a great rest of your day.